Catholics worship idols. Just look at their churches. There are more statues than people. These Catholics, they're breaking the 10 commandments, I tell you. They're worshipping idols. Hey, did you know these Catholics, they're against the teachings of the Bible on idol worship? This won't be the first time you have heard these statements. But do you really have an answer to these questions? The reference to the prohibition of idol worship is found in Exodus chapter 20 verses 4 to 5. You shall not make for yourself an idol, whether in the form of anything that is in heaven above, or that is on the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down to them or worship them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. Now this text, taken as it is very clear. Making of idols or images and worshipping them is prohibited. But if we read closely, after a few chapters we will come across this text where God commands Moses to make the Ark of the Covenant and statues of golden angels. You shall make 2 cherubim of gold. You shall make them of hammered work at the 2 ends of the mercy seat. Hey, wait a minute. Did God just contradict His own commandment about not making idols and images? Let us try to unravel this mystery. To understand what the commandment in Exodus chapter 20 actually means, we need to look at the story of the bronze serpent from the Old Testament. In the book of Numbers, God commands Moses to make a serpent of bronze and put it up upon a pole to save the Israelites from death due to snake bites. A little later on, however, God orders this very serpent to be destroyed. So what went wrong? Over time, the people regarded the bronze serpent itself as the seat of the healing power, and they made it an idol of worship, and hence King Hezekiah found it necessary to destroy it. He broke in pieces the bronze serpent that Moses had made, for until those days the people of Israel had made offerings to it. It was called Nehustan. So it's pretty clear from the examples of the Ark of the Covenant and the bronze serpent that God's commandment in the Bible does not restrict the making of images. Rather, this commandment refers to the attitude which people have towards an image. Nothing should take place of God. This brings us to the main question of this video. Is there idol worship in the Catholic Church? Are the statues of Jesus, Mother Mary and the saints which we find aplenty in the churches a cause for idol worship? Now, there is a fundamental difference between Christianity and the other Semitic religions like Judaism and Islam. In the Old Testament, it is the absolutely transcendent God who revealed Himself to Israel. Hence, no image of God is or ever was allowed. In Christianity, however, in light of Christ's life on earth, the prohibition against images was mitigated from the 4th century on and was abolished at the Second Council of Nicaea. By His incarnation, God is no longer absolutely unimaginable. In the Gospel of John, we read that the Word became flesh, indicating that the invisible God has now become visible in Jesus Christ. The Catechism of the Catholic Church explains, the veneration of sacred images is based on the mystery of the incarnation of the Word of God. It is not contrary to the first commandment. So why do we have statues or images in churches? The Catholic Church traditionally used such images to help with the explanation of the stories related to the faith. This was important especially in the olden times because the majority of the people were not literate and YouTube didn't exist. Secondly, praying by looking at something tangible like the cross or a statue of a saint, for example, helps us to focus on our prayer. It also creates an ambience that is favorable for prayer. Another reason is that the statues of saints inspire us to live like them and follow their example. It is the same as having a picture of a family friend or a member or someone you love in your home, which reminds you of them and their good qualities and inspires us to imitate them. Though you might think that worship and prayer are the same, in the Catholic Church we have 3 forms of adoration and veneration. Firstly, we have the adoration or worship that is due to God alone. which is known as latria. Second, we have the simple respect, veneration, respect we have for angels and saints, which we call as dulia. The third one is the adoration that is due to the Blessed Virgin Mary. This is known as hyperdulia. Our prayers to the Mother Mary and the saints are our expression of reverence and love for them and their life of dedication to God. So, in other words, the main difference between those who worship idols and Catholics who venerate statues and images lies in the intention of the person. Christians who pray before statues pray to the person behind the image rather than the image itself. A Christian is not bound to the statue. If the statue is destroyed, a Christian's faith does not waver or cease. But does this answer the original question? Do Catholics worship idols? No, they don't. We worship only God. I hope that some of your questions have been answered. If you still have some doubts or clarifications, please put up your questions in the comment section below. I thank you very much for the love and support that you've been showing towards this channel. If you have any other questions in mind or some other topic that we must take up, please do write in to me. Thank you very much. God bless.